To I guess to end this off on a big note, let's talk about the upcoming MCU films. Let's get it. Woo! Let's go.
Oh, please.
Let's. I have
Sorry.
actually a question for Hugo
Shite.
concerning this. It's not the question you
Can
think.
we swear?
Yeah, for sure. Hell yeah, fucking. I've been F-wording this entire time. So
I
Okay.
don't, but he does. I exist. My little square exists in a
it's a safe space.
PG-13 universe.
It's a safe
His
space over there.
square exists in a rated R universe.
Yeah, he lives in Midgard. No, he lives in Asgard. I live in Midgard.
Yeah,
I'm in hell.
You're in hell.
right. So my question is, knowing that you have a disdain for a lot of the MCU, you've once told me that your favorite of them is
Uh,
Black Panther.
it's one of my. I would say.
Yeah, same.
I mean, I would. I say a lot that I have this for MCU. It's just that I have. It's really weird. Like the thing with the MCU movies is that Marvel and Disney and all the people in it, they have both the money and the talent to make what I think could be great movies. Like
Mm.
to be honest, there are two MCU films that actually I love. They are Avengers One and Black Panther.
Yeah.
I love those movies. But the rest is I think it's just and they just it's like they underestimate themselves. Like it could be so much better. Like
Yeah.
this is how I feel about the MCU, and I feel and I just it just it's frustrating to see how good they're how much money they're making and how good they're making while they can do so much more,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
much more quality. Like this is
Um,
just it's just
so
frustrating. Like
I see. So it's a frustration with they could be aiming higher or they could be doing better. Is that
exactly. Like there are a bunch of ideas in MCU that I love that I would love if you made me read through them on paper.
Yeah.
But like
right?
the way they're doing it doesn't.
To be
Ah.
to be fair, I do agree in the sense that a lot of the MCU films that aren't like either a big Avengers movie or like the big thread lines. Like for me, Age of Ultron was just sloppy. It was just like, yeah, we needed another Avengers movie just to cap this phase. And like like Thor 2, like he's just kind of like a film just to here introduce one of the stones and then that's it. Like we move on.
Or two is
Like pretty much the whole phase two is like that. Each
Yeah,
movie are
same
just
thing.
this is one stun and this is Tony Stark doing whatever he does. I
Yeah,
don't know.
like I feel like a lot of I agree in the sense that a lot of the MCU films are mostly sort of like hype based. They're not like actually good films to watch. Like if you watch this on like
Yeah.
if you didn't know anything about the MCU and you watch one
if you
film,
watch some of them on their own,
yeah, you'd be
don't
like,
necessarily stand up.
yeah, they wouldn't stay in your head. Like for me, Ant-Man and the
Yeah,
Wasp like was kind of just like, oh look, quantum theory, that's it. Like,
right.
Yeah.
They work as if you view it as a TV show,
yeah, exactly.
which is something that I know that Hugo.
I don't know. Like,
We've
I,
had our discussion about that as
I'm
well.
not telling against it. Just like she at some point just goes too far. I think. Like it's just I
The
don't know.
blurring the line between
Yeah.
serialized fiction and
Yeah,
self-contained film.
yeah. Well, that's why we had this conversation prior before we like with having the MCU universe the NCU universe being inside the like a streaming platform, and
Right.
sort of like
And I think depending on how the next few years go, Hugo may have his wish in the sense, well, I don't know what his wish is exactly if he
I mean,
has.
it's
I
just
wish
if
I
you
wish
want to
for
make a
something.
TV show, make a TV show.
Exactly, but
It's
that's
just simple as that. I
I
haven't
think
watched WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier. I
Yeah,
don't think I will watch him because I don't feel very attached to those characters.
yeah,
But if the whole MCU start becoming like that, that's fine for me because they will assume the fact that they're making a TV show.
yeah,
that's
Like,
the thing. I think you will get your wish. I think they're slowly going to traverse the big gap between film and television,
yeah.
and I think they're going to fully embrace it eventually.
I mean,
I think
if that
that's
happens like that, I'm gonna be happy. Yeah.
well, that's what I'm saying. I think you're going to get your wish eventually.
But yeah, I do agree in the sense that where he's coming from, and like that was kind of my issue as well with the MCU, where it's kind of like they're their own sort of, because it's a universe. They're their own sort of like it's not an anthology series, so like they're all interconnected. So if you don't watch this film, you won't understand the concept of this film.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like
Which
sometimes, like you
was
said, you just watch a film just from one detail. Like
Yeah,
Ant-Man in the Wasp. Do you actually care about the story and the character? No, you're just watching that because it's introducing the quantum theory for
yeah,
Endgame.
yeah,
Like it's
exactly.
just, I don't like watching a whole 2 hour film just
Yeah,
for one story
story
point,
plot.
which
Yeah,
story plot. Like I like films as a whole. Like
yeah.
from first minute to last minute, there's an interest into it.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, to be fair, like Black Panther was created especially in that moment for that very reason, to make it sort of like, because it was impactful and all, and like it's like it was created not because, well, people like Black Panther from was it Civil War, but also because they were like, you know what, I want to see like a black superhero that has, that has his own universe, and that's inside his own world, and what
well,
that world is
yeah,
about. You know.
that is something also because that my initial question was relating to that what makes Black Panther and in that regard the Avengers, I suppose, stick out from the rest for you. But I'm
Um,
going to mention that it seems like Black Panther can completely stand on its own outside of it
Yeah.
and has in a sense, an inner universe
Yeah.
that it creates where you don't need any prior knowledge.
Yeah, because it's also especially because it was created just for that, because like the actual world itself
Yeah,
is disconnected from the rest of the world, so it's
yeah.
like
Avengers.
what happens in Iron Man 1 does have nothing to do with with
right,
what
right.
goes on in
So
this.
yeah, Hugo,
I mean, for me, Black Panther stands out. Like, which is gonna be very apt. Like, it just stands out because of his quality. Like, to be honest, Ryan Coogler, I love this guy. Like,
Yeah,
just on the directing and the writing, like, just so
yeah,
much better than most of every movies. Like, there's so much creativity. The whole world, like the city of Wakanda, I just love this world. Like, just it's like there's an idea in each and every scene when you watch
yeah,
this movie. Like
yeah,
it's really, this is why, like, I'm not gonna go full Scorsese, but I think I agree with him on some parts. And this is a movie. This is a
yeah,
movie with really some ideas, and and you actually care about what's happening,
mm,
like
right.
about those characters in this world. Like it's, you're not just watching Black Panther because you're looking for an infinity stone or a
yeah,
plot point which is gonna be bring out in the next movie.
yeah,
Like
Yeah,
there's actually a point. Like it's a movie about racial issues, and it's the fight between Killmonger and Black Panther, and they both have their own ideas about that, and they have that their whole films.
yeah,
This is what I call film. Like
yeah,
there are storylines with points, their creativity, they make
yeah,
images because it tells something, it creates a world. Like it's not just to introduce the next movie.
yeah.
right.
I also like how authentic it was, because they actually went to Africa
Yeah.
and went to talk to different
Like this
tribes and integrated
this is
with
a
The
them.
good
yeah, the
word. This is a
design.
good word, authenticity. Like this is a good word to describe it.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, but the thing that the sad thing about it is they didn't have enough time for the VFX, so like everything in the end just went to shit.
A
Yeah,
lot of people complain about that,
this
but
is a
I
sad
think
thing, yeah.
in the broader scope, it's one sequence of 10 seconds that
Yeah.
leaves to be desired, yes,
Yeah.
but
Hmm.
That
can't blame
PS2
the
fighting.
filmmaker. He was on a deadline, and
Yeah.
Hmm.
yeah, uh, I think all in all, it is the most self-affirming of the MCU's films, in the sense where like this film should most definitely exist, and outside, like if the MCU never happened, this film should exist
Yeah. And
for
on its
its
own, yeah.
cultural importance, for what it represents to people,
Yeah.
for the social movements that kind of got a bump because of it,
Yeah.
because of just the message it sends.
I'm curious to see what they'll do, because for the second one there for Wakanda
Yeah.
Forever, because on the late passing
Yeah,
of Chadwick Boseman.
I'm cautious about it.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried too. Like, I trust Ryan Coogler. I like what's the other films? His other
Yeah.
films. Like, he's a great director. So
Fruitvale is
like-
one of my favorite films of
yeah, for example, like just so I've the MC, like Black Panther is typically the case where the MCU stopped being the MCU. He started being the work of the director, and this is my this is because I'm French. This is because that like the overall aspect of the movie. But like to be honest, yeah, there's a bit of that.